And for Off the Block, I'm Vane Lopes, and we are now joined by head coach of the defending national NCAA champions, Shane Davis. And coach, you have a big match coming up Saturday night against Penn State. Just take us through what's your initial assessment of this big non-conference matchup for you guys.
Well, Penn State obviously got off to a little bit of a slow and rough start of the season. We were able to go out there in January and I think steal one from them. We were close touch with them, ended up winning that match and 4 out there. And we're excited to get them in our home gym, and I think they're playing a little bit better and figuring themselves out a little bit better than what they were in January. So I'm sure it's going to be a really exciting and tough match for us on Saturday.
Yeah, and Coach, talking about your team, offensively, you guys have been hitting off the charts recently, especially in your last match against IPFW when you hit more than 400. What is it about this team that everything just seems to be clicking well offensively for you guys right now?
I think we pass really well. I think Cody Caldwell and Thomas Jaschke do a great job anchoring our serve receive. We've got a freshman libero, Jake Selski, in there as well, and I think they allow it to him having a pretty good, easier transition into passing, since he's able to pass next to those two guys. But our passing for one, and I think our setter Peter Hutch does a really good job distributing the ball well. And we struggled a little bit trying to find who our opposite was going to be, replacing Joe Smalzer. And so I think in trying to do that, I think it's kind of a big credit to our middles and our left sides for kind of anchoring down our offense as well, while we're trying to figure out that position. And currently right now, Ben Playstead has been doing a great job for us, stepping up, and has been hitting some pretty big numbers right now for us, which is obviously helping out our percentage overall.
Yeah, and Coach, kind of talking about the freshmen on your team this season, have you been surprised at how well they've been able to perform, right out of the gate in their college career?
Yes and no. I guess in terms of, I knew I was pretty confident that Jeff Jendrick and Ben Playstead were going to come in and do a good job for us, make a pretty good immediate impact for us with their experience on the junior national team. But Jay Selski was a surprise for me in terms of how well his transition has been going. He's got a real great touch with service receive, got a great instinct on defense. I think he's been kind of our biggest surprise right now on the adjustment and move he's made from club to college right now.
Yeah. And Coach, for your team this year being the defending national champion, is it a different mindset at all when you go into places and just know that this team is basically has you guys circled on the calendar and they've been waiting weeks or months to play you guys?
Yeah, I think we walk into the gym with maybe more of a confident mindset than what we did mid-season last year, just because we've won at that level. And but I think the guys are embracing the atmosphere that they're walking into on the road. I think they're having a lot of fun with it. It's energizing for them. Our bench gets into it. So I think overall their mindset has been really good, and they're in a good place, whether it's at home or on the road.
And looking at the match Saturday against Penn State, obviously they have Aaron Russell. He's been putting up big numbers this season. What do you guys have to do to try to contain or stop Aaron Russell from having a big night?
Well, I think we need to serve aggressively to get them out of system so that way we can load up a little bit on him. But I thought we did a good job with on him when we were out at Penn State. I think we're the only team where he hit below 400, I feel like. So I think I'm going to tell you the secrets, but I think what we're kind of doing, our game plan is somewhat been pretty good with him, and hopefully we continue to do that. But he's one of the top attackers in the country, and he's just tough to slow down no matter how many blockers you put into him. So hopefully we do a good job with that on Saturday.
Yeah. And Coach, before I let you go, I want to ask you two more broader questions. The first one being, there's been a lot of talk this week about whether or not you guys should be the unanimous number one in the nation in the National Coaches Bowl. And just from your team standpoint, do you guys necessarily care at all whether you're number one, the unanimous number one, or are you just more concerned about going on out and getting the win?
Yeah, I think we've got bigger things things to care about than the voting and stuff. But I think we're just worried about the next day and getting better and who our next opponent is at this point. It's great for media, for us, but for us it's all about the end game.
Yeah.
So we're taking it day by day.
Yeah, and final question for you, Coach. Looking at the conference as a whole this season, you have 5 teams right now that are nationally ranked. Has this been the deepest that you've ever seen the MIVA be as a whole?
Yeah, from my experience since I've been around, for sure, this has been the best and the deepest that we've been as a group from what I can remember. So, it's great for us. It's great for our conference, and it's great to see 2 MIVA teams at 1 and 2 for a few weeks now. So it's great.